This one you're going to have to probably turn your phone sideways because it's the best way that this brochure fits my phone. A lot of people were asking about premium care and extended service plans, stuff like that. You have regular service plans, you have premium care. So with this plan, I wanted to actually give you the brochure from Ford themselves. As you can see here, what does it say? Ford Protect premium care coverage is 100% backed by Ford Motor Company. Drive on with vehicle benefits. There's a number that you can call to get a hold of them. Drive on with key services. Misplaced, damaged, will not work, locked in your car. Not available in all states, so not everybody has to adhere to that. Ford Protect premium care coverage is an affordable way to limit your out-of-pocket expenses, protects you from rising costs of future repair bills. Pay only your deductible, if any, per covered repair cost. Some of these actually don't have a deductible that you have to pay depending on what package you get. 100% transferable, which may increase your vehicle's resale value. Transfer fee applies. For new Ford Protect plans, coverage begins with the original in-service date, new vehicle limited warranty start date, and 0 miles or hours. Your selected coverage expires upon reaching the earliest time of mileage and hours. For cab, chassis, and complete vehicles, a variety of unique time, mileage, hour options and deductibles are available with 5 years or 100,000 miles or 4,000 hours of original in-service date. Coverage begins with the original service date, new vehicle warranty. Let's see here. Premium care extended service plan. So why Ford Protect premium care coverage is such a great value. Kind of gives you a little option here. Engine $6,000 taken care of, steering gear taken care of, transmission taken care of, lane alert system faults, things like that where it has to be diagnosed because something's going on, taken care of. Headlamp and tail lamp assembly taken care of. AC evaporator core taken care of. New Ford and competitive make vehicle plans. You have a $100 standard deductible. It could be an optional 0, 50, and 200 disappearing. And then used Ford competitive make vehicle plans, which has to have a specific type of inspection done by the dealer. As long as it's eligible for some kind of warranty before being sold, typically before 60,000 miles is up, and I think they could even in some cases go as high as like 70,000 miles for an ESP, depending on how they write it up. I've seen dealers do that as well. $100 deductible with that. So buying a used car, you could get premium care also. And then here, basically, relax and drive. It gives you the actual mileage based on what the plan covers. Based on your driving needs, you can customize a Ford Protect premium care extended service plan that's right for you. You can get it for 60,000 miles, 75,000, 100,000, 125, 150,000, 150,000 or 8 years. Coverage lengths range from 1 year to 6 years for 2006 and newer vehicles. But actually, if you look at the chart, it says it can be actually as far out as 8 years. Let's go back over here. Premium Care 100, or no, Premium Care 1000 Plus. Covered components. What is Premium Care Extended Service Plan 1000 Plus? Engine. So any of these components here in the engine. All internally lubricated parts, cylinder heads, fuel injectors, injector lines, injector pump, mounts, ring gear, balancer, valve covers, water pump, thermostat, PCM module, oil pan, oil pump. So there's a whole list of what's covered in the engine there. Transmission, all internal parts, transmission case, the linkage, the module. The electrical components. It talks about your alternator, your audiophile sound system, the charge voltmeter, or the charge voltage system, heated back glass, ignition module, incandescent halogen bulbs, power sunshade, headlamps, any major movable parts or usable parts inside the vehicle is completely covered. And you look at your brakes over here, it'll cover your ABS system, modules and sensors, backing plates, brake booster, calipers, combination valve, pump hose assembly, metal lines and fittings, master cylinder, parking brake, linkage, self-adjuster, shaft, springs, wheel cylinders, will not cover rotors, and usable parts, which I have said many times, wearable parts I should say, many times in my other videos, that even these high-end, unless you get like the Platinum Premium Care, which there's another version of this that you got to be able to sign up to, it also has some options for the wear items to be covered as well, but it's much more. It's like, I think it's like $1,500 more for that extended service plan. And then here's your front wheel axle, front and rear suspension, emission system, air conditioning, any of the safety stuff, steering. So any major components, the Premium Care takes cover of all that. High-tech components covered by Ford product, so like adaptive cruise control, things like that. Any kind of sensitive item that's not a typical item that you'd find as a repair item, that's not a wearable part, it's not a wear item, is covered. And the audio system, the same thing. Any of the base audio system that actually makes it function, as long as you're not modifying it, putting a bunch of junk data and stuff in it that could cause things to freeze up and lock up, they'll pretty much cover anything that goes bad. So key service, it's transferable between vehicles, Ford authorized parts, Ford certified technicians, and typically about $100 deductible for this program. There are options for other ones to be involved as well, but this is the gist of the extended service plan. And even when you just put like a regular ESP, just, you know, without all the extra features and crazy options and stuff like that, you still pretty much get all this stuff is covered anyway. This just gives you a little bit more protection with like the towing services and stuff like that, and, you know, key cutting service, locksmith service, and things of that nature. Just covered the Premium Care extended service plan with Ford, but this is the Premium Care with maintenance, and this is same thing that I just covered, but it's the Ford Protect extended service plan is 100% backed by Ford Motor Company. The service provided at the Ford and Lincoln dealership in the USA and Mexico. Ford authorized parts and service, $0 deductible. Coverage is 100% transferable, and the first day rental option. Flexible payment plans with 0% APR. You can read all that crap. It's not interesting to me. The drive on with confidence. Engine oil and filter changes. Premium Care maintenance covers these important items. So the engine oil, filter change, multi-point inspections, tire rotation, brake pads and linings, shock absorbers, spark plugs, clutch discs, engine belts, wiper blades. All this is covered with this plan. Drive on with peace of mind. Comprehensive maintenance coverage for Ford and competitive make vehicles. Keep your car and truck running great with a Ford Protect Premium Maintenance Plan, covering including select wear items. These prepaid plans help protect you against rising labor and parts costs. So $0 deductible per covered repair visit, scheduled maintenance coverage, limited wear item coverage, first day rental option, transferable to subsequent owner, full synthetic oil option, multiple service intervals available, 5,000, 7,500, and 10,000 miles. Severe duty maintenance item coverage, 5,000 mile intervals. That's the one that I would choose if anything, which I still think it's too long. It should be at 3,000 miles, but I know the dealer will never, or Ford will never do that. Coverage for scheduled maintenance. The following services are representative of the required maintenance for your vehicle. Your specified plan will be based on requirements indicated in your owner's scheduled maintenance guide. Change the engine oil and filter. Inspect and rotate tires. Inspect brake pads, shoes, rotors, drums, brake lines, and parking brake system. Inspect wheel ends for end play and noise. Inspect, lubricate steering linkage, ball joints, suspension if equipped, half shafts, drive shafts, and U-joints. Change transmission fluid, replace fuel filter, replace engine air filter, change engine coolant, replace PCV valve, change transfer case fluid, inspect and lubricate the 4x4 front axle shaft U-joints, lubricate 4x4 front hub needle bearings, lubricate 4x2 two-wheel drive wheel bearings, replace grease seals and adjust bearings, fill diesel exhaust fluid if equipped. Pretty good plan. I mean, honestly, multi-point inspection, just check all fluids, check systems and components. Everything's listed here. And then here's your premium maintenance plan time and mileage options right here. So they're telling you you could do these plan length or miles covered. Coverage ends at the earlier of the years or mileage. You can do up to 150,000 miles, 8 years. You could do 30 oil changes at 5,000 miles, 20 oil changes at 7,500 miles, or 15 oil changes at 10,000 miles. At that point, you get to choose how you want your service done. I would, at minimum, do the 5,000 miles. I mean, at maximum, I wouldn't wait more than 5,000 miles. So I would choose the 30 option. And then you could see the different plans that it has here for each section or whatever it is. However the heck you read this. So no matter what, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So it's up to you in that time frame. If you want that vehicle for 8 years, 150,000 miles, maintenance is spread out a little bit more. But if you look at 3 years, 150,000 miles, you can add that onto a vehicle that maybe is a used, pre-certified vehicle, and then take it out to 150,000 miles and get like 3 years out of it. You know, say you have a vehicle with 100,000 miles, but you drive a lot, and you're not going to hit your year limit, but you're going to hit your mileage. You obviously wouldn't choose the 8 years, 150,000. You would choose your 3 year, 150,000, because you're going to hit your mileage before your years are up. And the bottom one, you probably will end up paying more, but on a plan like that, you wouldn't hit that mileage as fast, so you had more time to let the vehicle sit. Maybe it's a vehicle you don't use all the time, but you still want the maintenance plan, things of that nature. So premium care would have been the one that's the top dog of what I've been covering on these last ones, and then I covered the maintenance care to go along with premium care. But there's other ones like extra care, base care, powertrain care. You can choose those different options as well. They don't offer as much coverage. They're probably somewhat cheaper, but like this here, engine. Each Ford Protect Extended Service Plan covers major engine components plus all gaskets, seals, and internal engine components. Only Ford Protect Premium Care covers the powertrain control module, which monitors the air-fuel mix to improve performance. Average savings $4,000 to $6,000. And then here is what it says it covers. Like I said earlier, these lifetime warranties on the powertrain that these dealers are giving you, I'm not saying they're not worth it. They probably are worth it. But as soon as that dealer gives you that lifetime powertrain warranty and then sells his dealership and it becomes another name, they're no longer obligated to give you that coverage because you're not actually buying a Ford service plan. Ford service plans end. Anytime somebody says lifetime program on a powertrain, that's because they're giving you an in-house warranty and just calling it a Ford warranty. It is a Ford warranty, but it's their dealership Ford warranty. It's not a manufacturer Ford warranty. This here is a Ford warranty. This actually comes from Ford, but it will expire and you have to renew it. So, engine non-covered components PCM module. That's it. It says that's the extent of this plan here. Is the extra care service plan, 113 covered components. Transmission, rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, steering, brakes, front suspension, AC and heating, electrical, high-tech, rear suspension, and emissions. So if we click on transmission, it'll give you governor assembly, seals and gaskets, torque converter, things like that. So that's the extra care service plan is the next one down. So let's change and see what happens with brakes. What do they cover with brakes? ABS sensor, backing plates, brake booster, calipers, combination valves, lines, fittings, master cylinder, self-adjuster. So just basic stuff with that plan. Just your hardware that never really wears out. Let's look at audio. See what it does for audio. We're sorry this is not one of the coverage areas in the extra care plan. For most complete coverage, check out details for our premium care plan. So it won't cover anything with audio, which especially with these Ford sync systems, you're going to need coverage on your audio, because they are having issues all the time. Let's see what happens with front suspension, just to give you an idea. Ball joints, control arms, kingpins, McPherson struts, spindle, stabilizer bar, tie rods. So that's the extent of your extra care plan. I mean, it just covers basic stuff. What is base care? Let's view it and see. Engine, same thing as before on the base components. Engine non-covered parts: flywheel, ring gear, fuel tank lines, gas, fuel injectors and fuel lines, PCM module, radiator, fan clutch. So let's look at transmission. All internal parts: seals, gaskets, torque converter, transfer case, and transfer case. Governor assembly is not covered. Kickdown linkage is not covered. Release hubs and bearings not covered. Transmission linkage not covered. Transmission module external not covered. Transmission mounts not covered. Vacuum module not covered. So you can see as you go down in these plans, they cover less and less and less. And if you go to fordprotect.ford.com, you can find the same information that I have found right now. So there's no reason to come back and say, oh, hey, can you go back and go look at this section for me, blah, 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 I want you. No, you can go do that, fordprotect.ford.com, and you can check all these out for yourself. Powertrain care. Same thing: manifold bolts, oil pan, oil pump, seals, gaskets, thermostat, timing chain gears and bolts, turbocharger, supercharger unit, factory installed, valve covers, water pump. So anything bolted to the motor, anything internal, doesn't look like it's covering. Flywheel, ring gear, radiator. Maybe it does cover internal components, but it doesn't actually say right here that's what's covered. I could only assume, but let's look and see if the powertrain care service plan has anything for transmission listed. All internal seals and gaskets, torque converter, transfer case, transmission case. So that's what's covered in these things, and typically you got to negotiate time-wise when they end. Nothing is lifetime. If you've got a lifetime powertrain warranty, that's through the dealer, like I said before. And once that dealer's gone or they change hands to another owner, that program is typically no longer valid because you didn't sign that with the new owner. You signed that agreement with the old owner. That's why it's good to get one of these programs, because it's through Ford and it can't just go away. All right, guys, thanks. Be blessed.